Hey, it's me, Lorianne, with another Spirit Short. So Spirit has tasked me with something that's going to be a bit challenging. At the end of March this year, it will be 5 years since my husband passed over. And I can't believe it's 5 years. The point is that I've been working with more and more widowers, and it's an incredible space to sit with somebody in their grief, in the depth of that grief, because I know it and I have lived through it, and I continue to heal and learn from that experience. I just realized I have one of my little chi balls hanging right here. I'm just gonna move it over. They're the funnest things to have in your space. Okay, distraction. Okay, so what if we were to realize, all of us, that we are guests here on the planet? That we are a guest here, like we would be a guest in someone's home. And so when you're a guest in someone's home, hopefully, you are respectful and you are mindful. You come in and you wait to be invited in further. You remove your shoes and your outer coat, and you politely wait to engage. You don't demand anything. You don't go, hey, where's my drink? Where's my food? Why aren't you feeding me? Your house is too hot. Can you change the temperature? I don't like this chair. Can I sit in the one you're sitting in? It looks more comfortable. So we don't do that. So what if we were to walk on this planet as if we are a guest? And how would that change our experience? So I feel like I've been in this space all week with my video vlogs, my vlogs, and the being a guest, not trying to force anything, not trying to change things that are happening around you, but simply being a witness, an objective witness, and waiting until you are invited to engage or participate or make a contribution, share some of your own experience from the deep knowing within you, without bringing that forward and imposing it on a situation. One of the big things that we all are always dealing with is our own resistance, and resistance that we feel outside of us. Well, when we disengage from resistance altogether, and we are just a quiet, still presence, we're able to really witness what's really happening. And by being that kind of a neutral witness, we're actually holding this presence that can be called upon, because we haven't made a prejudgment. We haven't showed up with opinions and ideas of what needs to happen. There's none, what you should do or what I would do. There's none of that. There's just presence. And so this is what I have been learning as I work with other widowers. It's just being in that space with somebody. And it is interesting to see that person beginning to open and unravel and release another level of that grieving process, where it has been truncated or stuffed up because others around that person have rushed in to comfort them, to kind of, it's okay, you're going to be okay, when what they really need to do is to just talk about that loved one, because they still live. You know, the phrase, what is remembered lives. And, you know, when you have lost a spouse, that person that you were bonded to 24/7, and then that presence has shifted and changed, it's no longer a fleshy presence, you have to find other ways to navigate the world without that sort of bonded presence in your life. And talking about that person often makes others seem uncomfortable, because really, on the other side, they don't want you to be uncomfortable as the widower. It's kind of crazy making. But you ask anybody who has lost somebody very near and dear to them to talk about that person, their person. And yes, it can bring up the sadness, but it also brings their memory, the memories of that person, brings them back to life. You know, literally put energy back into them, and their presence is enhanced in that way. And it actually doesn't make you feel sad as the widower. It makes you feel appreciative and glad and blessed that you had that experience in your life. You had that person for those many years, that they influenced you, and it was a beautiful thing. And the lessons that you learned and the gifts that you received and all of that. If you can't reflect upon that with the people that you are around, because you're believing it's going to make them uncomfortable, or they're thinking that it's going to make you sad and teary, and it's really, it's not, that's not what it's about. It's really not. It's important to get teary. It's important to continue to let those emotions come forward and be expressed, because, you know, energy, emotions, energy in motion, it's dynamic. We need to move it through our body and experience it. And here's the other thing. Sometimes when you share that kind of, you know, from that space, it can make others feel uncomfortable, because it brings up what they need to be expressing as well about maybe someone that they have had to let go of. So anyway, I hope this makes sense, and perhaps it will help you, if you've lost someone near and dear, to be uninhibited in expressing yourself, in talking about that beautiful spirit that used to live in this physical dimension but now does not. Or you're with someone who has lost someone very near and dear to them, and you're not quite sure how to support them, because it's really not difficult. It's not complicated. At the end of the day, I could talk about Daryl, my late husband, till the cows come home. Right? I could. And it makes me feel good when I do speak about him and his personality, his traits, his gifts, his service. I could talk and talk and talk, because he lives in a special place in my heart. And when I speak about him, it enlivens his presence in my life. And I love that. So, all right, that's a bit of a long-winded message, and I hope it's helpful to you. I would love some feedback, some comments on this, because it is a very sensitive subject, and it isn't something that in our Western culture that we speak freely about death and dying and the grieving process, and it's so important because it's part of life. You know, at the end of the day, we're all going to die. And, you know, why not become more at ease and comfortable with pain itself? Because that's how we evolve. All right, I'm going to stop now. I'm going to bring back my twinkly balls here and spin it for you. All right. See you later. Bye. Hope this was helpful.